What if I tell you the only reason you're still average is not because you lack talent, but because you never gave yourself a real chance? Yes, think about it. Not because you're weak, not because you're unlucky, but because you stopped before you even started. And today, this changes. Most people spend their entire lives believing a lie that says, you need talent to succeed. From childhood, you hear it again and again. He is talented. She is gifted. And slowly, without realizing it, you start believing you are not one of them. So what happens next? You stop trying. You stop dreaming big. You convince yourself that success is for others, not for you. But here's the truth nobody tells you. Talent is not what makes people successful. It's consistency. Look around you. There are countless talented people who never became anything. And there are average people who built extraordinary lives. Why? Because talent gives you a head start, but consistency takes you to the finish line. Starting from zero feels scary. It feels like you're already behind, like everyone else is ahead of you. But what if starting from zero is actually your biggest advantage? When you start with nothing, you learn everything. You build discipline, you build strength, you build resilience, and most importantly, you build yourself. The real problem is not your lack of talent, it's your mindset. You keep telling yourself, I'm not good enough, I can't do this, what if I fail? So you don't even try. But let me ask you something. What's worse, failing or never trying at all? Because failure teaches you something. It makes you grow. But not trying keeps you exactly where you are. Every successful person you admire today failed more times than you can imagine. But they didn't stop. And that's the difference. You don't need to become great overnight. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need everything figured out. You just need to start. Just one small step. 10 minutes of effort. One skill learned. One action taken. That's how everything begins. Because success is not one big moment. It's small actions, repeated daily. Motivation will not save you. It feels good, but it fades. One day you feel inspired. The next day, you feel nothing. If you depend on motivation, you will quit. But discipline is different. Discipline means showing up, even when you don't feel like it. Even when you're tired. Even when nobody is watching. And that is what separates winners from everyone else. Another thing that's holding you back is comparison. You look at others and feel like you're behind, but you don't see their struggles. You don't see their failures. You only see their success. Your journey is different. The only person you need to beat is the person you were yesterday. Just get 1% better every single day. That's enough. Pain is something you try to avoid. But what if pain is actually your power? Every rejection, every failure, every struggle is shaping you into someone stronger. Instead of running from it, use it. Turn your pain into fuel. And listen carefully. You don't need permission. You don't need someone to believe in you. You don't need validation. All you need is a decision. A decision that says, no matter what happens, I will not quit. Once you make that decision, everything changes. Right now, your future self is watching you, asking you one question. Will you give up again? Or will you finally take control? Years from now, you will either say, I wish I started today, or you will say, today was the day that changed everything. The choice is yours.
What if I tell you, the moment you feel like quitting is actually the moment your life is about to change? Yes, not when things are easy, not when you feel motivated, but when everything inside you says, stop, and you still choose to move forward. That is where real transformation begins. Hard work sounds simple, but living it is something else. Because real hard work is not exciting, it's not glamorous, it's not something people clap for. It's waking up when you don't feel like it. It's doing the same thing again and again without seeing results. It's staying focused while your mind begs you to quit. And that's where most people fail. Not because they're not capable, but because they're not prepared for how boring success really is. Growth is silent. It happens behind the scenes, in the moments nobody sees. And if you can master those moments, you can master your life. There will be days when you doubt everything. You'll question your path. You'll question your efforts. You'll even question yourself. Is this worth it? Am I wasting my time? Maybe I'm not made for this. Listen carefully. Doubt is not your enemy. It's a sign that you're stepping out of your comfort zone. Even the strongest people feel it, but they don't stop. They feel the doubt and still take action. Because the real skill is not talent. The real skill is not quitting. If you can keep going when it's hard, when it's boring, when it feels like nothing is working, you will win. Because most people won't last that long. Stop telling everyone your plans. Stop announcing what you're going to become. Just work, in silence, with focus, with discipline. Because when you move in silence, your results make the loudest noise. Your environment matters more than you think. The people you're around, the content you consume, the habits you follow, they are shaping your future every single day. If you surround yourself with negativity, you will slowly become negative. If you surround yourself with growth, you will start growing. You may not control everything around you, but you can control what enters your mind. Choose wisely. Discipline is not something you're born with, it's something you build. At first, it feels impossible. You feel lazy, you feel distracted, you feel weak. But every time you show up, even when you don't feel like it, you get stronger. And one day, what felt impossible becomes your routine. You don't need to change your life overnight. You just need to improve a little. Just 1% better every day. It may not look like much today, but over time, it becomes everything. Consistency beats intensity. Always. Now let's talk about failure, the thing you fear the most. Failure is not the end, it's feedback. Every mistake you make teaches you something valuable. Every failure brings you closer to success. Successful people are not fearless, they just don't let fear stop them. Here's a truth most people avoid. Nobody is coming to save you. No perfect moment, no magical opportunity, no sudden breakthrough. It's you. Only you. The moment you accept this, you stop waiting and start acting. Right now, you are capable of more than you think, but your mind is full of limits. Limits created by fear, by past failures, by other people's opinions. But those limits are not real. They are stories, and you can change them. Look at your time. How much of it are you wasting? Scrolling, procrastinating, doing things that don't matter, and then saying, I don't have time. You don't need more time. You need better focus. Even a few hours a day can completely change your life if you use them wisely. Real change happens when your identity changes. Stop saying, I'm trying. Start saying, I am becoming. I am disciplined. I am focused. I am consistent. Because your identity controls your actions, and your actions create your future. There will be a moment, a breaking point, where everything feels heavy, where quitting feels easier, where giving up feels right. This is your test. If you stop here, you stay the same. But if you push through, you unlock a new version of yourself, a stronger, more powerful, unstoppable version. Success is not luck. It's not talent. It's persistence. If you keep showing up, if you keep improving, if you refuse to quit, success becomes inevitable. Not today, not tomorrow, but one day It will happen. One day, people will look at you and say, "You're so lucky." And you'll smile, because only you will know how many times you wanted to quit and didn't.
What if I tell you the life you dream about is already possible, but there's only one thing standing in the way? You. Not your situation, not your past, not your lack of talent, but the version of you that refuses to grow. And today, that version ends. At some point in life, you have to face the truth. No more excuses, no more blaming others, no more waiting for the right time. Because the truth is, there is no perfect moment. There is only now. And what you do right now decides everything. Most people stay stuck, not because they can't move forward, but because they are comfortable where they are. Comfort is dangerous. It feels safe, but it slowly destroys your potential. It keeps you in the same place, day after day, year after year, until one day you realize nothing changed. If you want a different life, you have to become a different person. Growth requires discomfort. It requires doing things you don't feel like doing. It requires stepping into the unknown. It requires facing your fears. And that's why most people avoid it. They choose comfort over growth. But you can't have both. You either choose comfort or you choose progress. There is no middle ground. Your habits are creating your future, not your goals, not your dreams, your daily habits. What you do every day is who you become. If your habits are weak, your life will be weak. If your habits are strong, your life will be powerful. So ask yourself, what are you doing daily that's moving you forward? And what are you doing that's holding you back? Be honest, because honesty is the first step to change. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. That's why discipline matters more than motivation, because motivation comes and goes, but habits stay. Your circle matters. The people around you are influencing you more than you think. If you're surrounded by people who complain, you will start complaining. If you're surrounded by people who are lazy, you will become lazy. But if you're surrounded by people who are driven, focused, hungry for success, you will rise. And if you don't have that circle, then become that person yourself. Lead yourself. Because sometimes you have to walk alone before others join you. Let's talk about fear, the thing that stops you again and again. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of being embarrassed. But what if I tell you, fear is not there to stop you, it's there to guide you. Everything you want in life is on the other side of fear. The moment you feel scared, that's the direction you need to go, because that's where growth is. You keep waiting to feel ready, but you will never feel ready. No one ever does. People who succeed don't wait for confidence. They create it through action. Confidence is not something you have before you start. It's something you build after you start. Action creates clarity, not overthinking. The more you think, the more confused you become. The more you act, the more you understand. So stop overthinking, start doing, even if it's imperfect, even if it's messy, even if it's small. Because imperfect action is always better than perfect inaction. Let's talk about patience, because this is where most people fail. They start, they work hard, they stay consistent. But when results don't come quickly, they quit. They think it's not working. But what they don't realize is, success takes time. More time than you expect, more effort than you think, more patience than you're used to. But if you stay consistent, results will come. They always do. Your past does not define you. Read that again. Your past mistakes, your failures, your bad decisions, they don't control your future, unless you let them. Every day is a new chance, a chance to start again, a chance to do better, a chance to become more. But you have to take it. No one will do it for you. There will be people who doubt you, who laugh at you, who don't believe in you. Let them. Their opinions don't define your reality. Your actions do. Prove them wrong, not with words, but with results. Stay focused, because distractions are everywhere. Social media, entertainment, people, all trying to steal your time. But your time is your life, and once it's gone, you don't get it back. So protect it, use it wisely, invest it in yourself, because you are your greatest asset. At the end of the day, it's not about talent, it's not about luck. It's about who is willing to keep going when it gets hard. And if you've made it this far, you are not average. You are not weak. You are not incapable.